Hey there! Inspired by the well-known game Undertale, today we're making the echo flower. A kind of flower that, much as its name implies, keeps repeating the last noise it was exposed to over and over like an echo. And more interestingly, it glows in the dark. So we're gonna make it look like you brought one home from the game. Let's get into it. Stuff you will need. And PVA glue, which I couldn't fit in the aesthetic, so here you go. Start by putting some PVA glue into your container and add some glow-in-the-dark powder to it. And mix well. I'm obviously YOLOing the amounts, but you need to add more glue and powder at a time to get the right amount and color that you want. Now print out your echo flowers on a thick piece of paper. The link to this image will be in the description. My echo flowers turned out about 12 centimeters tall, but you can do it any size you want. It's easier to color in before cutting around the flowers, so I'm gonna do that, and I used this pointy stick because it was easier to work with. Remember, this isn't paint, it's glue. And we're gonna color in all the white and gray parts. Once your first layer dries, do that again. The more layers you have, the better it will glow in the dark, and it will also give us a darker shade of blue, which is what we need here. I applied 3 layers for each flower, which seemed to be enough for me. Once you're satisfied with how it looks, you can cut around the flowers. Now place your flower on the sponge and trace around it with a pen. Then I use the cutter to cut around it, and once you're done, place your flower back on the sponge to make sure it's just the right size and to cut any extra pieces if there are any. Now we need to cover the sponge with some PVA glue and apply the flowers to it with a little bit of pressure and then leave it aside to dry. Measure the width of your sponge and cut strips of black paper to that size. This is the part that's gonna go around the flower. And for me, it was about 1.5 centimeters. Now this is a bit tricky and I suggest using super glue for this part. I started from the middle, gluing one half and then the other. We basically just need to bend the strip on each edge and then glue it down, covering all around the flower. If you're having trouble with the folding, you can try using something like a ruler or just bend the strip the opposite way. If you've got any white spots on the edges, you can use a black marker to cover them. Now get a sharp stick and poke along the stem in a straight line. And cut the rest wherever you feel like is enough. Now all that's left to do is to pour the black sand into the pot and stick the flower inside. If your flower doesn't glow that much at first, you just need to expose it to some light. So just use your phone's flashlight or put it in the sun, and after a while it should be fine. Oh, and one more thing. While I was searching for the flower print, I stumbled across this Echo Flower Simulator website. It's a website where you can, quote, say something to an echo flower and plant it, and others will be able to read that. There's this endless land of echo flowers with interesting messages you can read and enjoy. You can go check it out, I'll put a link to it in the description. And that's about it. Like, subscribe, blah blah blah. And tell me in the comments what you thought of this. Okay, bye!